Hello, Astro friends. Welcome back to another talk here at Psyche Astrologica. Today, we're going to be looking at Uranus and the transit that is going to happen this Monday, July 7th, from Taurus, the fixed earth sign ruled by Venus, into Gemini, the mind sign, the mutable air sign ruled by Mercury. Let's begin with Uranus. Uranus is one of the outer planets. We have Uranus, we have Neptune, and we have Pluto. It was not considered one of the 7 traditional planets. It wasn't visible at the time of the Hellenistic or traditional era. It was discovered later on. However, it doesn't mean that its impact is not something that we feel nowadays in our modern lives. So Uranus is represented or is symbolically connected to lightning, to awakening, to liberation, to freedom, to rebelliousness, to enlightenment even. So imagine in a dark night where we can smell that rain is coming, that a storm is forming. We see the clouds. Even though it's dark, we can still have some visibility that there's something that's cooking in the sky. There's no moon. We don't see the stars. There's no visibility, no light whatsoever. And all of a sudden, there's a lightning that strikes, and all around it is illuminated. That's how I have come to perceive Uranus, in a symbolic and very realistic material way. To give you some background on Uranus and its cycle, it takes 84 years to go around the entire zodiac. So in more or less 84 years, we might see Uranus coming back into Taurus, moving into Gemini. That means that if we have 12 zodiac signs, it takes about 7 years to transit on each of those signs or energy. I want to make an insight here. We all have a sun sign, a moon sign, and an ascendant, but we have all the signs as well. So there is a portion of our chart, right, where Taurus and Gemini are, where this shift is going to be happening. All right, so this past 7 years since 2019, where Uranus ingressed into the sign of Taurus, this new era started. Let's talk a little bit about Taurus. Taurus is a fixed earth sign. It's a sign that it's stable, it's fertile. It is ruled by Venus. Imagine Venus and all the planets as the owners or the hosts of their own home, right? And in this case, the zodiac sign of Taurus is the home of Venus. Venus, mythologically speaking, we can call her Aphrodite. So Aphrodite has to do with the body, with the senses, with pleasure, with the patterns or the things that are comfortable to us, that have harmony, a place where you can enjoy, where you can relax, where you can have stability and harmony. But in the majority of cases, I'd say that we build this idea of harmony or being comfortable based on outside conditioning. We're always told since we were little, what is freedom, what is happiness, what is success. And then based on everything that we're told from outside, we build comfortable or stable habits in our life. What I think is the lessons that Taurus can bring into our life is, okay, let me realize, let me recognize that whatever I'm doing, whatever feels comfortable, or whatever habits I've created around myself or my life, definitely have this influence. Let me find out, what is that for me? What is that aligned with my purpose? Let me find out, let me discover. Maybe I have no idea what that is. So that is what Uranus has been doing, in that area of our life of Taurus, moving it. Let's say it's in the area of the 6th house, maybe disease, or the sacrifices that we need to do every day, the work we need to put in every day. And we don't want that to change. Maybe we want to have a stable job or a 9-to-5 in a company that we can grow. But then all of a sudden, for this past 7 years, Uranus has been wanting to liberate us and wanting to show us in a drastic way that there's things that need to change. And when we don't do the change ourselves, change happens to ourselves from outside. So it's going to happen. whether we want it or not. It's just having this GPS or way of navigating, knowing that these things are there, not being surprised, and more than anything, flowing with it. Also, we can go back into when we think 2019. Of course, there's COVID. Of course, there was a big shift in what we did every day. So it's interesting to see that now. Today, when I'm recording this video, is 4th of July, Day of Independence in the United States, this great country. And actually, the host, Venus, right, the ruler of Taurus, is doing a conjunction with Uranus. So I'm sharing my screen, showing you the wheel of the 12 signs of the zodiac. There's the traditional and the outer planets as well. This is where they're transiting right now in the sky. Venus, the host of Taurus, the owner of this house, is doing a conjunction with Uranus. Why? Because they're on the same 29th degree. This is the last degree of Taurus before it moves into the sign of Gemini, right? So the 29th degree, it's called the anaretic degree. It's the strongest one, where the biggest shift or change in our life could be felt before it moves into the sign of Gemini. This means, if we give it some interpretation, Venus, the ruler of Taurus, that has been going through all this change, is giving a last walk through this sign, through her home, bringing harmony. Venus wants to have beauty, and beauty is found in truth. I don't want to say that, oh, only being positive or only being happy, oh, that's the only beauty there is. No, in anger, in sadness, in all these feelings, emotions that we live, there is beauty if there is truth. I would say that sometimes we can be angry and we can be smiling. We can be sad and pretending that we're happy. Beauty can be found when we are true to ourselves, when there is a transparency in what we live and how we act. This change into the sign of Gemini, I believe, is going to be a lot more fluid, is going to be less drastic, because Gemini is a mutable sign or a double-bodied sign. It is an air sign of the mind. So if we compare Taurus, which is a fixed earth sign, imagine an earthquake that destroys everything that is built on top of, right, the earth. But when we go into Gemini that has to do with mind, with ideas, I see this as mind being illuminated, being awakened. A lot of learning maybe is not through the traditional way of only reading or doing certain things and habits. It's more like downloads of information that we're going to be having. We can see it already with AI, artificial intelligence. Uranus entering the sign of Gemini will have to do a lot with the faster development of AI and technology, but it's not something new. It's something that has been already worked. Just like the storm, where we can feel and sense that it's coming, and we know that the lightning can happen in any time, AI is going to definitely change the way we live, our reality. We're already seeing it. But ideas, so creative ideas, and depending on the area that we have Gemini in our chart. So for example, if we have it in the area of the 7th house, area of relationships, of others, our business partners, people that we make deals with, that we interact with, that are very important to us, there might be a change here. There might be that lightning that shows us that we might need to change who we relate with, or we might discover new things about our partners. They might come with genius ideas, things that are revolutionary. There's a freedom, an awakening happening in that area of our chart. If you would like to see in a deeper way how this transit will impact in your day-to-day, in your own chart, reach out. I'm going to leave my information in the description below, so you can reach out and, with your questions, we can set up a time and look at that more in depth. I wish you guys, my astro friends, a great Uranus ingress in Gemini. Many blessings. Bye.